So let's start our trading today. I have already analyzed and selected all the currency pairs with the most optimal movement pattern. You can see them in front of your eyes. Today we have an OTC market, which means an excellent payout percentage. Mostly, more than 90% today, we are analyzing these indicators. This is a fractal, the Keltner channel with default settings, and the CCI oscillator with a period of 10. Let's start trading. Let's see what we have in store for today. Let's start with a deal of $500 and select our first currency pair. Right here, I immediately want to open a deal to increase. It may not be a very good entry point and our price movement will go lower, but I think that this will not happen. Let's highlight the workspace. First of all, we have an upward trend prevailing here, an upward trend. And on the OTC market, I always adhere to in order to open deals in the direction of the trend. So we have a price pullback here. In theory, a new local minimum is forming. The fractal will have to show this to us. The movement has also entered the outer part of our channel indicator. And accordingly, we have a reversal here on the moving line of our oscillator. The moving one is unfolding and should exit the oversold area. Let's see. As expected, everything happened as I said. Great deal. Let's change the sum of the transaction values. Now we'll put 700 and continue our trading. There was nothing difficult here. Yes, let's continue and select the next currency pair. Here too, I actually want to open an upward trade. Of course, we are opening against the trend, but here the picture is a little different. Here we have a pronounced downward trend, and over the last period of price movement, we have a very strong upward momentum. Here the price has stood still, the formation of a new local. Once again, the movement has also moved outward according to the channel indicator, and I am also observing an exit from the oversold area again, according to our oscillator. Therefore, in this case, the deal is also opened for an increase. In fact, I do not advise you to do this. In general, it is always better to open deals in the OTC market in the direction of the trend so that it is more reliable. But nevertheless, our deal closes in a plus. Great, we caught the price rollback on time, so we have a formation. There is a new local minimum. In general, everything is happening as I expected, so we are already in the black by 1,000. Let's change the amount of the value and already put 1,000 and select the next currency pair. And here I also want to open a deal again for an increase. Perhaps not a very good entry point. Perhaps it was worth opening a deal right now, but I think that the dynamics of our movement will have to go up now since the entry logic is absolutely correct. And now the deal is similar to the opening option. Yes, if you remember, we also had an upward trend. A new local minimum was forming. The movement also went outwards through our Keltner channel. And in general, as you remember, we closed the first trade in a plus. The opening level is a bit unfortunate here, judging by the dynamics of the price movement. Let's look at the result. So nevertheless, we have had a rollback here. We have opened two similar deals with you, and in general, two of the two advantages. Great, I'm super happy with the result. Let's try to open the final deal to consolidate. Let's open it for 500. I don't want to risk the balance too much. We are already in the black with you by 2,000. And in general, if it's $500 less, I won't be so upset. So let's continue and select the final currency pair. And here I want to open a trade to go down maybe damn, not quite a good opening level again. I wanted to open directly at the formation of a local maximum at this point, several levels higher, but in general, the logic of entering this trade here is also absolutely correct. We are opening in the direction of the trend. We have a downward trend. And here you can even notice a slight consistency after the formation of new local highs. In each section of the movement, there was a touch of the upper moving average. Our movement dynamics immediately went down, and this situation should logically be similar to the previous ones. As well as here, we see an exit from the overbought area on our oscillator. So, well, yes, it was not quite right that we opened, but it was just here that we had to open when we have already started moving in the outer part. As you can see, we have a rollback. Well, okay, I was a little unlucky. I won't get upset. In general, I am absolutely satisfied with the result of trading today. We are in the black with you for 1,500. Therefore, I propose to fix this profit. We choose a wallet. Let's make the amount of 2,000. 500 more is okay. And our operation is being successfully performed. This is how the trade turned out using these indicators. In general, there was nothing complicated. There was a bit of bad luck in the last transaction, but that's okay. This is trading. Someone is more lucky, someone is less lucky. But in general, even if we go back to the last trade now, we would have opened it a little later, let's say. We waited until a fractal was formed. We would have opened on a downgrade. And in general, we would have closed the deal without any problems. Plus, so the logic of the entry was absolutely correct, but this is trading. There are different situations. Yes, no one is immune. And in general, I think that my trading has been successful for now. Let's move on to the next trading session. So let's start our second trading session. I have already analyzed and selected all the currency pairs with the most optimal movement pattern and payout percentages. You can see them in front of your eyes. Let's start with a deal of $1,000. We will open for the entire balance. I conducted a high quality analysis and indicators such as Bollinger Bands with a period of 13 and a deviation of 2 as usual, a fractal with default settings and RSI oscillators. We will have the first with a period of 5, the second with a period of 10. This is necessary in order to understand the different price range, and they will show it to us. We will also focus on them. We also leave the oversold and overbought areas at 30 and 70 by default. These settings are quite enough. So, well, let's start with 1,000. As I said, we will open transactions on a minute time frame. Let's get started and select the first currency pair. And here I will most likely open a deal to increase in the direction of the trend, highlight the workspace. We have a pretty strong pullback and we have a relatively good entry point. After this pullback and touching a new local minimum, which in fact should show us a fractal, yes, further dynamics should go up. I also pay attention to the oscillators and see that we are moving out of the oversold area for both oscillators. So in this case, I will open the deal anyway to increase, despite the fact that here we have updated the local maximum for the fractal. And in fact, our rollback may have already ended. So the last seconds and the first deal closes in A+. As I said, the dynamics on the next candle went up. In general, I am completely satisfied with the result. The deal was absolutely correct. Let's change the amount of the deal value, put $945, and reopen 2 deals for the entire balance, namely for $1,800. Let's continue and select the next one, a currency pair. And here I will open 2 deals to increase, again, in the direction of the trend. The entry logic remains absolutely the same as in the last deal. Let's consolidate the result you have already seen. I think it will be quite good. We also have an upward trend and we have a good price pullback. The formation of a new local minimum and touching the lower moving line of the channel indicator. I think that the further dynamics of the movement of 100% should go up. I also observe the behavior of the oscillators. According to the oscillator, with a period of 5, I will expect an exit from the oversold area, and also according to the dynamics of the movement of the second oscillator, I see that, in general, further dynamics should also turn around and go to the top, which actually has already happened, and transactions are closing in a plus without problems. We started with 1,000 and I see an excellent profit now before my eyes. I will fix it. Let's move on to the conclusion. Choosing a wallet, the amount of today's profit will be $2,496. The withdrawal operation is being successfully performed. This is how the trade turned out today. Using these indicators, 2 transactions were opened according to the same principle. I think you understood the principle of opening an increased transaction using these indicators. And in general, I was also pleased with the result. Good luck to everyone in trading, of course. If you have any questions, you can always find a link to my Telegram in the description and ask any question you are interested in. I will definitely try to help everyone. Have a nice day and see you soon.